There is one thing that determines your level of success. And it's not new. It's been around for centuries, in fact, but rarely do we take advantage of it. Before we get into that, I'm going to take the water temperature and then we're going to jump in. All right, guys, it is reading a chilly 50 degrees. As always, we're going to make it a great day. There is one thing in life that determines our level of success. And as I alluded to, it's not new. For example, if I said to you, hey, I want you to invest in a project that I have, but I'm not sure if it's going to work out. But if it does, you can get most of your money back. You'd be like, Gabe, that is the worst sales pitch I've ever heard. And you'd be right. The book of Proverbs talks about this one thing. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And this one thing that I'm talking about is vision. It's having a vision for your goal, a vision for the outcome. With that sales pitch, I wasn't giving a clear vision as to what the return would be, what would happen if it went well, how likely that would happen, if it's really possible, or if it's a long shot. You see, everyone is willing to pay if the future is clear. They're willing to invest if the future is clear. But if it's not, if it's fuzzy, if they're not really sure if they're going to get their money back, people are not going to be willing to hand out their money. And so it goes back to vision. Another example would be when you're running a race. I've run several races. And invariably, when I'm coming to the finish line, as soon as you round the corner and you see the massive crowds and you see the Jumbotron, and the loudspeakers, as soon as you round that corner, you have renewed energy because you're like, hey, I can see the finish line. It's right here. It's right. It's going to happen. I can do it. And invariably, you always see people make a final push to that finish line because they see the finish line. They can see it. And I think that is the one determining factor for success is, can you see the finish line? Can you see the path? Maybe it's a bonus for you. Maybe you're like, hey, can you see the path for your bonus this year? And oftentimes when you can't see it, when you're like, man, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it or not, your energy and your focus follows. And so if you can't see it, you're not going to have the energy. You're not going to have the focus. You're not going to have the discipline to follow through. But if you have a clear vision for how you're going to accomplish it, for the next steps, it's amazing what you can do to bring it about. Lastly, I think it comes down to the vision, and it has to be tied to an extraordinary promise. I think it has to be a big vision. It can't be something small, but it has to be a large. Like, what would you do if the vision was, if you had an extraordinary promise? How clear is your vision for that? How clear is your vision for this outcome? And I think, guys, that is the one thing that determines success more than anything else. When you're looking at the game of sports or anything else, is how clear is your vision of the outcome? All right, guys, that's 3 more minutes. Let's make it a great day.